When we purchased our Jeep Wrangler, one of the things we bought was the dual top option. So today we're going to show you what it's like to remove the hardtop and install the soft top. I can't help but notice that there's one thing that was missing in that box, and that was instructions. So we're going to have to figure it out as we go along. The first step is to remove the freedom panels. Every new Jeep Wrangler comes with a toolkit so that you can fold the windshield, remove the doors, and swap the tops. It's got everything you need right here. So these are the only tools we expect to use today. This top bolts on, and already I can see 3 bolts here in the back on this side and 3 more on the other side. So we've got 6, but there's got to be something up front that holds the front of the top on. So I'm going to go look for that. Yeah, there's one right here and another on that side. So it looks like altogether I've got to remove 8 bolts. There are 2 Torx bolts in the kit, a 40 and a 50. This is the 50. And that's not very tight, but I guess they don't need to be. They just have to compress the gasket enough so it doesn't leak. You don't want to crack anything. So I've removed 8 bolts, and these are not anything I want to lose. I think there might be a place on board where I can store them. It's good to know that there's no empty holes here. These are for the windshield and these are for the doors. But we're not quite ready to take the top off just yet, because this has a defroster, a rear wiper, which you can see here, and a washer nozzle. And so there's some connections in this corner that I have to undo before we can lift the top off. All right, well, I haven't done this before on the JL, which is this new 2018 Wrangler, but this looks easy enough. Push that in. That came off real easy. Doesn't drip. Boom. We've got the electrical connector and the water hose disconnected. I didn't think about this, but Jeep did. The things we just unplugged here just kind of flop around, but looks like, I didn't know what this was at first, but now it's obvious. This goes in here, theoretically. Maybe this way is better. There we go. And that goes there. So now those things are clean and tidy and out of the way. I think I figured this out, surprisingly enough. These bolts appear to go through here because this is threaded on this side, and it looks like it's going to sandwich this around the roll cage structure. So let's see if I'm right. That seems to be the trick. These also look like the smaller T40 Torx bit, not the 50 we use to take the top off, so I gotta switch that. Well, putting those on made it real obvious what these parts are. Same thing, but over the driver's seat and the front passenger. So let's go put them on. These pieces here go behind the rear door, and this is where the rear window will attach, and this is where the rear door will be. And it fills in the gap that's below the pieces we just put on. Probably I should have put these on first, but it doesn't look like a tragedy, and if any, I can just loosen something if I need to. This is where the instructions would have been nice. So this piece has to go in there. So I'm gonna have to take this back off, maybe loosen this so I can slide this in. So when you do this, put this piece on first with a little rubber gasket on there and you won't have this problem. There's no bolt here. This little noise is probably something that once the window's on here, it'll pull it taut and it won't matter. Closes right there. We are putting little corner pieces on here. And these corner trim pieces right here That one goes on that side. This one goes on the passenger side. We'll do this one first, and it looks like it's going to be this bolt, which requires me to switch to the T50 bolt bit. So here we go. This piece removes. It's got a couple clips. I can feel it. It's just a little bit tight. This one on the front especially. There it is. And one of these, we'll figure out soon in a minute, maybe both, is related to the hinge for the top. So as we remove more pieces, it becomes more obvious what we have to put on. These are the hinge plates. This is left hand, and looks pretty obvious. This is up, so I think I know exactly how to put it on. These are the last 4 bolts, and we have the top. Those are all parts for the side windows and the back windows. So this is the home stretch. I'm going to need some help on this part though, because this is going to be a little awkward. Maybe if I've done it 2 or 3 times, I'd be able to do it myself, but maybe not this first time. This part is a 2-man job. You just got to get the 2 sides aligned before the bolts will go in. There's some pretty good lineup aids here, but you've got to have one set of eyes on each side to make sure everything's where it needs to be. This other one goes down here. Those were the last bolts. Pretty much, we're done. I mean, if we were running with the top down, it would look like this. The side windows and the back window that we haven't put on yet wouldn't be on if we were driving around like this. So now we can put the top up and button it up with the side and back windows. I think I hear something in the back. First time. What's going on here? Everything looks right. Just can't quite get the latches to match up. Here we go. The top's up, we're in safari mode, but let's put on the side windows and the back window and seal this up. So here's a side panel, and these are different from last year. What you've got here is a groove that slides onto a rod, and that'll support the weight of the entire thing and hold it up while we insert these into clips along the front and back and sides. So this is the key. This is what makes this soft top easier to do than last year's. The final piece is the rear window. And like the side panels, there's no zippers involved. This has a sliding hinge and clips around the side. So again, you don't have to worry about dust getting in the zipper. Big problem before. And this piece here, this is the bottom of the window. This gives it its shape along the bottom edge. Once I have this installed, I probably won't take it off. Next time I remove the window, I'll probably just leave this part on. So this goes in there. Holds the bottom, and the final thing is you tuck this up in here, get this started at the top, and then fold it on down. Easier said than done the first time. Brand new top, things haven't stretched out. There we go. Well, that wasn't too bad. I didn't have instructions, so I struggled a bit, so it took me about an hour. With practice, I could probably knock that down to 30 minutes. I'm still gonna need a friend's help to get the hard top off and get the soft top on. Put all little brackets and bolts, that's a one-man job. Anyway, I'm good to go for the summer. Can run with the sides and top down if I want, and next winter I can put the hardtop back on. For more videos about Jeep or any other vehicle, click subscribe.